What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. Match reaction time to one hell of a game, back and forth, but so disappointing at the end. So disappointing. But listen, we'll get into it. As Paul A here says, or is that Paula? Please smash the likes as you come in. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and we'll get into this one. Bob saying, "Hi KG, terrible game management from Marsh. That ailing sub cost us." Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I'm getting, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, Tobes is messaging me clown emojis. Yeah, I was ready for that. I was ready for that. That's fine. That's fine. We move. We move. Ricardo Pellegrino saying, "Where's the fresh legs?" I have no idea. No idea. Athena's asking, "Does that mean Adams is out for Man City?" Yes, it absolutely does. The red card means he's out for Man City, and for me, that's probably one of the worst parts of the game is that we're going to miss him for Manchester City. It's already going to be a tough task as it is without Tyler Adams in there, who before his red card I thought was brilliant again. But yeah, we can't do nothing with this defense, I'm afraid. We can't do nothing with the defense. It's not a 2-game ban; it's a 1-game ban because it was a second yellow, so it's just one. And Sticky saying that Ailing sub was the right move, but look at our bench, and he's kind of right, Sticky. But I made a note in my notes in that saying, why take off a midfielder? It was clear our front three was starting to get a little fatigue, even Aronson as well. I would have possibly taken off one of those before we took off Mark Rucker, who I thought would have been fine in there along with Adams, and it would have just kept us with a base in the midfield. But boy, once he went off, it just opened up. I mean, it really opened up. By the way, I mean, it was ridiculous. But we'll talk about this as we go on. Yeah, exactly, Jacob. Aronson was cooked, and we could see that. I mean, I could see that. I'll speak for myself. I could see Aronson was cooked. Even Rodrigo, before he scored his second goal, was looking a bit leggy, wasn't he? He was looking a bit out of breath. But I think you've got to take off one of those before you take off a central midfielder. That's just my opinion. And listen, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and because we lost the game, it makes it worse. But yeah, oh man. Michael just saying, would Adams have made that challenge if he trusted his defense behind him? Probably not. You know, it was a pointless tackle though, wasn't it? You know, and listen, I've got to be fair. Tyler Adams is my guy. He's absolutely my guy. But at that point, he needed to be thinking about the next game that we've got. And now with that second yellow, even though his first yellow was a bit, a bit dodgy, but you're on a yellow card, so you've got to play it by the book. He just went in a bit there, and he bought what Basuma was selling him. But yeah, I mean, Katrina, January, no excuse not to buy some players. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just disappointing, isn't it, man? It is just so disappointing. The first lead they get is the one that wins the game. The first one we get is the one that wins the game. Big brother just saying, hi KG, our defense is shocking, and to lose after taking the lead 3 times is poor. Conceding goals far too easily. It was ugly at times. We'll talk about the first one, but like I say, I don't want to talk about referees too much, but we do have to discuss that one. Gabe with a super chat. Thank you, Gabe. The Thai players in the front three didn't make Cooper and Clark glide challenges in the box. They didn't. It's just woeful defending from our centre backs yet again, as always. And Gabe is absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. I mean, they both literally made the same tackle, didn't they, Gabe? You know, Liam Cooper first off for the third goal, was it? You know, I don't even remember at this point, but he just let Kulusevski. Kulusevski was very good, by the way, and I said he's their creative force in there. Proved to be right again today, unfortunately. But both of them made that little meek, "Ooh, I'm not going to touch you in case I can see the penalty tackle." But there's no point being there if you're just going to do that, because a player will just go around you as they did, and then you're out of position. And then for Robin Cox one, Cooper was out way too far. He's not one of those defenders that can get back in time. And then Robin Cox there doing the same tackle as Liam Cooper. But there was other things as well that defensively was poor from us today as well, by the way. But shout out to you, Gabe, for the super chat. Lee Waters as well with super chat just saying, praise Jesse when he's doing well. Sack him when we lose a game to a top 6 side. We played well today. Should have got something, but not disheartened. Now, I'm definitely not sacked Jesse. No, no. I don't know who's saying that, Lee Waters, but I'm certainly not. Um, but not disheartened. No, I'm disheartened with this one today because at least the point was there for the taking for me. And when you go ahead three times, essentially you should be winning that game. Even though they are a top six side. Yeah, it's poor, isn't it? It's poor. Yeah, Ishtar with a good point here. The attackers must be gutted. They do their job well, and defense let us down. And that's what I was thinking through the game, Ishtar. Our attack was so good. So good. But then it's our central defense. I can't even really say all our defense because a couple of them were good today. I thought Strout was decent. I thought he did his job pretty well. I thought Rasmus got forward a lot more again today. But boy, we just need we need new centre backs, people. We need new centre backs, and that's the long and short of it. Will we get them? I don't know. But listen, yeah, Karen, we should have won that game. Yeah, we should. When you go ahead three times, man. Just say Darren here saying take Rocker off, and then go negative and lose. Seeing this from Jesse before, is there no lessons learned? I would say though, Darren, that he was trying to shore up the game because at that point you do need to think about taking home the 3 points. I just think it was the wrong substitution. I think he could have taken off one of our forwards, left Rocker on, and then rock and roll from there. But he made the decision he made. Oh, it's so disappointing. I'm so gutted, man. I had so much smoke ready for my Spurs friends because it's like I said in the preview, they were there to be got at today, and you saw it through our goals. Even before we had scored, there was moments in the game where their defense would just lapse. But unfortunately, you forget that our defense is just as lapsed as well. So it was just a Keystone Cups at the back dance off, wasn't it? It was so bad. I mean, listen. Let's just go. Let's just go through the goals and then we'll just chat through the game. Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible coincidence, isn't it? It really is. It really is, isn't it? Darren saying, not saying it's on Ailing, but he came in to show up the defense and we let in 2 goals immediately. As soon as he came on, their shot, Bentoncourt's shot, deflected off him and went in. It's a bad coincidence, isn't it? Jacob said, did anybody else have the insanely biased commentary I had? I definitely, the geezer, whoever the geezer was on commentary, he did not like Leeds one bit. One bit. Matt Scale, shout out to you for the super chat, Matt. KG, we need a left back so Pascal can play in his natural position. Agreed, Matt. Pascal and Cock are our best pairing. We played well, but that's football. Gotta say though, man, Robin Cock for me, I said he's been okay this season, okay to good. But at the moment, there's some performances for me that have been a little less than unconvincing. I definitely agree with Pascal Strag. Once again, he did not do too much wrong today. But I think we just need an overhaul in there. We need some centre backs with some pace. And Athena here saying Cock is out of form, I think. And also, I mean, I'm not making excuses for Robin Cock, but how much was his head in the game today after being left out by Germany? That really does sound like an excuse now. I've just said it out loud, but we don't know what's on his mind, do we? We don't know what's on his mind, but yeah, it wasn't his best outing today at all. So I know CJW should have come out there with something. Rocker shouldn't have come off gutted. I know it's poor. Kelvin saying sound like Paul Robinson on commentary. Why does he hate Leeds? I don't know. Paul Robinson. I mean, he was our goalkeeper, but then again, I think didn't he win something with Spurs? Was he there for that 08 Cup? I don't know. Matt saying Cock having to cover Cooper K. I know. I listen, Matt. I know this, but what I don't want to do is come on here with commentary like it's a heavy agenda, because I could do that, but there's just no point. I know that at times he had to cover him, but we just need some more help in the defense. Let me just start a couple of these because we need to go through some of this. We need to go through some of this stuff because listen, Somerville. Let's talk about that. Yeah. All right, man. Okay. Aronson with a beautiful ball through to Somerville. And this is what I was talking about on my preview in terms of Spurs defense being statuesque. He gets through between Royal and Dyer and he put through a lovely slotted finish. Love it. Absolutely love the goal. And I thought, here we go. We're setting off. Him and Nanto do the Black Panther thing. Love to see it. But then we get the VAR thing, and we got to talk about it briefly. Like I say, I don't want to spend too much time on it because I hate talking about refs. But as Gabe's here says here, so glad we have VAR. Clearly, it's top notch. Top notch. No point talking about VAR. There's no point talking about VAR. I don't know if it was Efan Akoku Kamte. It could have been. But whoever it was for my feed, the geezer didn't like Leeds. But let me tell you something. That goal that Harry Kane scored, that doesn't get given if two of our players bowl into Lloris and then one of our players is free to put it in the net. It just doesn't get given. But again, you're talking about top six here. You're talking about, it's not VAR machines, that they all work perfectly fine, but you've got humans behind them and they will always favor the big six. And Tottenham, I mean, they barely scrape the big six. They're probably like 3 Newcastle signings away from being replaced. But that should never have been a goal. Richarlison and Longley, they knew they weren't going for the ball. They knew they weren't going for the ball, but you can play the percentages when you're playing lower end of the team league teams. You can do that. If they do that against Man City, Man United, or anyone like that, that goal gets chalked off, and we don't even have to talk about it. It's a non-factor. But the fact is, you can get away with those kind of things when you're against a lower league team, lower end team, because you got top six bias on your side. I mentioned a few weeks ago when Ben Chilwell almost took off someone's ankle and Cucurella was there next to him with his hands on his head, forgetting that he's at Chelsea now. So they're going to get away with that. You know what I mean? That and it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I don't know who that is, but you're gone. But listen, I mean, is there any point talking about this decision? Is there any point, Jacob? Joke decision. Jeremy, I remember when we were a top six club 20 years ago. I wish we could have that time back, Jeremy. Didn't appreciate at the time. I didn't appreciate at the time, Jeremy. It was so good, wasn't it? Let's have a look. PR is just saying, team put everything in today. 0 complaints against our lads. VAR shocking decision. Yep. Very, very poor. Very poor. Dale, it was Tyler Adams, unfortunately, Dale. So look. Oh, well, I can't put that one on screen, Mark Jones, but I get your point. At your service saying the VAR stuff doesn't happen in the Bundesliga, just saying. But we've known for years and years, going back to Fergie days, referees over here have got no spine. They've got no spine. They go to Anfield. I don't know what they think is going to happen there, whether they're going to get beat up or whatever, but they always protect those big teams. Always. It always will happen. But let us have 2 players cannon into the goalkeeper without any intention of getting the ball and then freely put it in, let's see if it stands. I don't think so. But listen, we move on from that, and if you still want to talk about it, please do your worst because they deserve it. Did you hear, by the way, did anyone else hear? I don't know what cameras everyone got for this one, but did anyone hear that the Tottenham fan that was shouting at the Leeds player that took the corner? Yeah, he was saying that you're rubbish, you're this and that. That's why you play for Leeds. And then a couple knockbacks in, Cooper knocked it back in. He knocked it back in. Cooper did well to knock it back in. Rasmus flicks it on, and Rodrigo. Full credit to Rodrigo for smacking that thing. Akon settings. It was beautiful. I cannot give him any more praise for that. That's what I want. That's what I want to see from Rodrigo. That's what I want to see from our strikers. Just smack the ball. Don't give the keeper a chance. If you hit it hard enough, it might go through you, as we saw against us too. But that full credit to Rodrigo. Brilliant finish by him. And again, I talked earlier about Robin Koch not getting called up to the Germany squad. We didn't know how Rodrigo was going to fare. When you look at that Spain squad, I mean, he could have very well gone. But listen, brilliant goal to put us 2-1 up. Excellent. And I noted at the end of the half as well, Nanto played a beautiful weighted pass through, and maybe people would have forgotten it by now. It was a beautifully weighted pass, but Rodrigo and then I can't remember who else was there, didn't run onto it. And if they ran onto it, they would have been clean through. It was a really, really good pass by Nanto. And that was his last action before he had to get subbed off as at halftime due to injury. Um, Let me just see. It's Rodrigo. Yeah, Karen, absolutely. Rodrigo on his 2 goals, and we'll talk about his next one in a bit. We've already kind of talked about it was Liam Cooper meekly selling himself for Kulusevski, who got around him too easily, shot blocked, and then Ben Davies scored from range. And again, so poor, so poor. I mean, why? I mean, the tackle itself was bad enough for me, but it's things before. Now I don't know if anybody else noticed this on the game. Tottenham weren't wasting time today. You know, when the ball was going out of play and it was their throw, they would throw it in very, very quickly. But for some reason, our defenders and midfield as well, they've got to take blame for this too. They were very, very slow in reacting to the ball being thrown in. It happened quite a few times, and it happened at the second goal too. I don't know if anyone else caught that, but there was a lot of switching off going on when the throw in was taken by Spurs. Very, very weird. But listen, yeah, that Ben Davies shot, I think it might actually go down as an own goal, actually. But I still feel that between Rasmus and Melier on the line, they could have done better. That's just me, but maybe I'm being overly critical there. Um, I noted as well Royale and Langley getting subbed off, but then Sanchez and Doherty coming on. And again, Sanchez, you replace one mistake in Royale for Sanchez, who's another, and he goes on to concede a free kick pretty much straight away as soon as he's introduced when Somerville like faints past him. And you know, Greenwood fires it over, but it was a back and forth game, wasn't it? Back and forth game. And I noted here as well, we had much more control of the ball in the second half. Well, the early part of the second half. And that led to the third goal. That led to the third goal because as I was writing it, Rodrigo goes through and it started from a brilliant Tyler Adams interception. The interception was really good, fair interception. Rodrigo goes on, puts it across Lloris. That's the kind of finishing we're talking about. Rodrigo had 2 brilliant finishes today. Full credit to Rodrigo today for the finishes today. The smack it as hard as you can and the one across Lloris. Brilliant finishing today by Rodrigo. We need to see more of that kind of finishing too. It's just unfortunate that it counts for nothing at the end of today. And here we are. And once again, brilliant interception by Tyler Adams. But here we are. This is what I noted down. Rucker off, Ailing on. I get that we need a defender, but not for a central midfielder. That this plays into Spurs' hands. We could have subbed off one of the front 3 who were tiring, but let's see. And oh boy, we saw. I mean, it just went to pot. That defense, that substitution for us changed the game in the worst way. Unfortunately, it changed the game. Tom here just saying the refs were trying so hard to give them the win. Yeah, I mean, Kane was doing. He was basically reffing it, wasn't he, at certain points? But that's what you get when you're England captain. That's what you get. It was just disappointing when Ailing come on, not in general, but it just went to pot. Tottenham started to get the ball more. They started to open us a bit more. We were getting more and more open as the game went on, and it just played into their hands. That substitution taken off Rucker, it was the wrong one. It shouldn't have been him. It should have been for one of the forward players. Yeah, but 3-3, we've already talked about that. Bentancur off the recently on Ailing, and I just put because I did that. And then 4-3, the first time Spurs lead. Cooper was way too high in the line, far too high for someone with his little pace. And then Koch with the meek tackle on Kulusevski, much like Cooper in the first before. And Bentancur tapped it in. And that was it. That was the game done. Well, it wasn't done because then Tyler Adams get a red card, and we spoke about that at the start of the stream. Guys, I mean, how is everyone else feeling? How is everyone else feeling in regards to what we've seen today? I've gone through my points, and we can talk as we go along as points get made. As you hear, though, there's over 600 and 70 people here. Please hit a like on the video. Best way to help the channel. And yeah, hit a like for me, man. Our last game before the World Cup, but I will be doing some World Cup watch along. So subscribe to the channel and we can talk about those together. HWH, we want better defense. Absolutely. Jeremy, deflated. I feel that too, Jeremy. Definitely feel that. It's just disheartening to see. It's just disheartening to see so much good work being undone by people that shouldn't be here at all. I don't care what gestures they do, they make. I don't care. They just shouldn't be here. They're undoing all the good work that we're doing going forward. Listen, we've scored a lot of goals in the past few games, a lot of them. And unfortunately, we've come away today with not even a point after taking a lead 3 times away from home. Yeah, disheartening is probably the word. Kelvin is saying, you see the score and you think, yeah, okay, but you watch the game and we deserve something. Absolutely. Cooper is done. Yeah, he's been done. He's been done, Kelvin. But, you know, it is what it is. Nicole in the house saying, sucks, but we did our best. I didn't like the England substitute, but we need better defenders. Quit blaming Jesse. This is a learning lesson. And this is it as well for me, Nicole. It can't be blamed on Jesse completely. I know he did get the positional substitution wrong, but he needs more quality beef on the bench. He needs more better players on the bench to choose from, because then otherwise it isn't Ailing that comes on today. It's somebody else. You know what I mean? So it's not on Jesse. It's about the squad. And once again, I reiterate it here. I know a lot of people don't agree, but I do believe with a couple more windows, with some players going out in January and some coming in, and in the summer where we get more players in and more players going out, we'll be much better with Jesse Marsh in charge with the players of his ilk. All his signings have been brilliant so far. They're our best players, plus Pascal Struijk. That's it. So that's just my opinion anyway. Listen, if you disagree, put it in the comments after, respectfully, of course. Let's have a look. JC, Cooper, Ailing, Click, Forshaw, Bamford all need to say thanks for the memories and find new clubs. And this is it. And listen, Brendan T is disagreeing, and that's cool, Brendan. You can disagree. Ishtar is saying you agree. That's the beautiful thing about football, and it's all about opinions. But I saw that as well this week, and Jesse Marsh getting the blame for Matthijs Klick not going to the Poland squad. I've got to speak up about this, because how does that even happen? How are you blaming Jesse Marsh for Matthijs Klick's lack of footballing ability at Premier League level for him not going? People saying he's been let down by Jesse. I just couldn't believe what I was reading. I was like, what? Like, Klick has literally been poor for 2 years. So why has he got any right to go to the World Cup for Poland? I know Poland isn't the biggest nation, but they've got options. They've got options there. It was just really weird for me to see that. And again, it goes to the point of some people just want to live in the past. They want to stay on the promotion year, but we're past that, and you've got to move past it. It was just weird. Seastone here. Oh my God, I couldn't take that on Twitter. Jesse's job isn't to get Klick to a World Cup, and he helped him. He tried to help him. Let me tell you, because people just forget. Matthijs Klick had obviously said that he was probably going to leave in the summer. Does everybody remember that? First of all, he then decides to stay, which we all knew he was going to do because it's comfortable for him here. And Jesse would have probably said to him, "Look, you're not going to start games, but you know what? I'm going to give you some good substitution minutes, and it's up to you to perform in those. That will keep you match ready." Klick does well in the first game against Wolves. Brilliant, in fact. That was an excellent cameo, but then nothing else after that. And he kept on getting the early substitution over Gelhardt, over other players that should have been ahead of him. Greenwood should have been ahead of him. But no, he was getting time on the pitch, but he did nothing. Oh, man. Okay, listen. Oh, look at that. Man. I can see my signal's going down, but as long as you can hear me, that should be okay. It should be back in a bit. It's gone back up to 2. Mark Jones saying, I'm off KG, more great content as usual. The best Leeds YouTube vlogger by 5. I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you so much. But yeah, listen, to blame, my point on that is to blame Jesse is absolutely terrible, because if Click had done more in his time on the pitch, then he would have probably gone to the Poland team. He probably would have, but he didn't do anything bar the Wolves game. It is what it is. It is what it is. Everyone can have their opinions. That's mine on my platform here. William Morrison with a super chat. Let me just get this one. When we win, it's the young guys. When we lose, it can almost time be the promotion guys. Okay, let me get this in. I know what you're trying to say here. When we win, it's the young guys. When we lose, it's always the promotion guys. That can be attributed to the last tired of it. Julio Guzman is saying today we can play with these top teams. We need a leader on our back line. Yeah, we just need better defenders there. We've got our leader in the middle of the pitch in Tyler, but yeah, we just need better defenders. That is literally it. That's the one thing that is just going to keep hindering us. It's our defense. It's our defense. Yeah, exactly. So that's it, Northallerton. Click needs to go. Not worth the energy talking about him. And I'm with you there, Northallerton, because he for me, he is one that needs to go in January. But I just found it really weird that Jesse got heat for that. Just no responsibility on Click trying to be better in the cameos that he was given. No responsibility. No problem. Ian J, spot on KG. Click Ailing for to go, and Bamford. Marsh tactics are narrow, no defense. Well, I mean, people keep talking about this narrow stuff, but you know what? Jesse would probably tell you in midweek that if we were playing more narrow and what was it, 3 players of ours weren't on the sidelines, we'd have probably defended that goal against Wolves better. He'd probably say that. I don't subscribe to this whole narrow thing. I think it's just you get the players in the system that will work, and I think Marsh's system would be fine. It's not that rare to see where your wing backs are your outlets and then your midfield do the running. It's not that rare to see in football. So just get better players. Yeah, I mean, that's what Luis is saying. Narrow, we have our wingers wide, and they are wide. But is what it is. Is what it is. It's all opinions, though. It's all opinions. Oaks is saying, "Hey KG, awesome kind of content as always. Unless we invest heavily in that squad, it doesn't look good. He should be back though, Jesse. The potential is there. Yeah, the potential is definitely there, Oaks. Absolutely. It's definitely there, and you can see that when we're going forward. You can see that in the midfield. It looks good, but it's the defense, and there's only so many times we can say that, though, isn't there? There's only so many times you can say that. Sarge is saying, when you press high, leaving huge areas behind you, need quick defenders to cover, and Cooper isn't that. And there's a couple of them. A couple of them today. Louis saying, KG got a shout out in the expressions video. I can only imagine. Oh, damn. I messaged him before saying that we were going to win 2-1, and it wasn't a prediction. It was a spoiler. Stupid me. What was I thinking? Shout out to Exto anyway. Shout out to them. Bubs, though, is saying, I think if we had a better tactical manager, we'd be comfortably top half. Would have won some of those games early in the season against bottom teams. Yeah, fair. But what I would say is that during those games as well, was those crazy subs, weren't they? There was ridiculous subs where you didn't understand them. I didn't understand them, I should say. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think top half, though. I don't think we would be top half. That's just my personal opinion. Philip saying, seriously, where would you start with that defense? I don't know. Ian just coming back with another super chat to say, no, I meant narrow mind as in no defense. Right, okay. Tom saying here, Rodrigo now only 3 goals behind Kane. It's definitely our defense that's the problem. But then Old Git, I always love saying Old Git's name, saying manager is costing us wins. Some blame everybody, people. Very, very clear. Luis is saying, no, it's crystal clear. It's nothing to do with tactics. Our defense is diabolical. And that, for me, I'll just talk about this game today. That's what it was for me today. I don't think it was anything to do with tactics today. I thought it was the defense. I thought that was our weak link today, as it was for Spurs. But they've just got that little bit more going forward, so that's why they've won the game today. But yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it? It's more than unfortunate. It's devastating actually that we didn't come away with anything today. Um, let's have a look. Byron in the house saying the club made a mistake in not getting a striker left back. Apart from that, the recruitment has not been bad. The difference has now been exposed. Yeah, yeah, 100% agree. Uh, let's have a look. Bob's in his point about top half, only 4 points off. That's fair, Bob's. But then if we done something different, then other teams would have done things differently too. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. Let me just see. Let me just check something. While I'm just checking if there's been any quotes yet, please hit a like on the video. So that leaves us. We are now currently 14th. It's a shame. That's a shame. I think Forest won today, didn't they? Did Forest win in the end? Did they win? Yeah, they beat Palace 1-0. Oh man, that's sickening. But yeah, listen, it looks like we'll be around 14th, 15th, depending on other results, I guess. Brighton beat Villa too, yeah. Brilliant T just saying terrible result considering we were up 3 times. Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Just checking for some quotes now. Hold on. Nothing just yet. Let me just go through some more comments while I'm here. Jack, hey Cage, what about Bielsa to Bournemouth? Yeah, good luck to him if he goes. Good luck to him if he goes there. If you want to bring that up we'll do a show next week. But if you really want to talk about it, we can go over it. But you guys know me. I don't have that kind of emotional attachment. I loved him for what he did for us while he was here, but it's much like an ex, isn't it? Once they've gone and they've moved on, you've moved on. I think it should just be like that. But I know a lot of people are taking it kind of hard. Barney here with a super chat. Thank you, Barney. People bashing subs. No Harrison, Bamford, Gelhart hurt midweek. Who knows his availability? Subbing kids into that atmosphere risky. The only thing I would say to that, Barney, is if they're on the bench, it means they're ready to play for me. I'm not doing this whole kids thing. This isn't like the kids thing last year where we had McKinstry and all these fellas on the bench. This is now a bench where they look like they should be able to integrate into the team no matter what. If we're going to keep on sheltering them, then they're never going to get played. So for me, and we saw today, Nanto, before he got subbed, I thought Nanto was good. You know, he's allegedly a kid. He's 19 years old, but he was good today. Somerville, one of our better performers today. For me, age isn't the thing. It's about your ability. But we do need more experience, ability. And I'm not talking about experiences in like 30 plus. I'm talking 24, 25. That's where I am with that. I know, Lewis. It's cutting out a bit here and there, but just bear with me, people. I know it's been a bit of a pain today, but hopefully, as long as you can hear me, it should be okay. Wow, a Millwall fan in here. Let's get this on. Colin here saying hello, all Millwall support here. I come in peace. It's nice to see. The idea that Creswell is Premier League ready is laughable. I see the potential, but when all our players are healthy, he's not in the first 11. That's fair. And Colin, you're not the first person I've heard say that. Speak to a Millwall, I can't say who, but he also says the same kind of thing, which is very interesting. Okay, let's go. Julio is saying, and shout out to you for the super chat. Jesse is assistant manager learning to adjust on the fly. Unfortunately, there's no forgiveness in the Premier League. Every game is important. We do have solid young core. The future is bright. Yeah, I agree with that, Julio. I always forget if it's Julio or Julio, but yeah, I absolutely agree with that for sure, 100%. Paulo prays it though. Just be honest, KG Jesse is useless. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, let's have a look. Yeah, Jake here saying I would have liked to seen JB for some solidity. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, okay. This thing keeps on. I can see my thing is doing absolute madness today. Um, yeah, Jamie. Defenders are stealing living, absolute disgrace. That's what it was today. Absolute disgrace. No good today at all. Uh, but yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to leave it there, people, because there's not much else for me to say in regards to the game. It's 4-3 after going ahead 3 times. The Tyler Adams will be missing for the Man City game, which is which is gutting. But yeah, leave your comments in the video afterwards. Please hit a like on it. I know that the signal's been a bit hit and miss for this one, but apologies. Hopefully you've still been able to hear me. Oh yeah, well listen, Matthew, I gotta read this one quickly. Hey KG, I'm a Leeds fan and a Maple Leafs fan, so I'm feeling it more than you right now. Get that Penguin top off. Jokes, keep up the good work. Yes, that's what happens. And you know what? It's weird for me, Matthew, because when the Penguins beat you last night, I was thinking this isn't a good omen because usually one of them lose. If the Penguins win, Leeds lose. If Leeds win, Penguins lose. So I never get both of them together, hardly ever. But yes, it was a beautiful win against your lot yesterday. Shout out to you. Yeah, Zane. I know KG Toad's going to be sipping his pina colada, and I think Expressions might be unchained. I know. And the thing was, I bigged it up so much that we were going to win. I was so not confident, but I just believed that we could do what we did today going forward. But I did kind of put the back of my head that our defense isn't that much better either. So is what it is. But listen, people. Shout out to everyone that's joined me, and I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, we'll get some stuff done throughout the World Cup. But yeah, try and enjoy the rest of your day, people. Peace out.